What's up, everyone? Welcome in everyone that's joining us. Welcome in anyone that popped in early. Uh, Welcome in. I see a couple people over here that popped in a little earlier. I just wanted to welcome in everyone for the special Droppp Arcade ending stream. Yes, we are ending Droppp Arcade. I'm not staying up to 3 a.m., so I'm live streaming from the East Coast, which is crazy 3 a.m. But I want to see the movement, the traction that's happening out, what's going on, what's happening. But I also want to say hi to everyone that's been joining the stream already. Welcome in Jeremy, The Truth. What's up, Lainey? Welcome in everyone that's joining into the chat. So hopefully everyone is having a great evening, ready to talk all kinds of things about Droppp and what's going on and what's happening. If you haven't hit that like button, do that because it always helps share out that stream, some interaction. If you're new to the stream, become a sub. Because you need to become a sub to chat in the chat. That's just because we've had problems with bots in the past and all kinds of crazy things. So we always ask if anyone's going to be chatting to make sure to become a sub. And I appreciate all the subscribers that's hanging out. It doesn't cost anything. We do have channel membership as well, too, to hang out with us and all those good things. But we have a lot to talk about tonight because a lot of things are going on with this, of course, the Droppp Arcade. We're seeing some action happening. Been kind of quiet for the last week or so. We saw a lot of burn happen a little bit about 2 weeks ago because you had a chance to win some prizes and some mini games, and we'll talk about some of the mini games and everything they did as well too. But you have a lot of different opportunity to, of course, win some other things, like mini games that had prize packs, protos, just some fun stuff. A lot of packs. I think most people got, from what I know, standard packs. I don't know how many people got premium packs or anything like that from some of the burns for some of the mini games and stuff like that for transferring different things for points or trading different things for points, whatever you want to call that, the official term and all those kind of things. So it'll be fun. It'll be definitely a good time. And yeah, lots going on, of course, with Funko coming up. We have another big drop we can talk about tonight as well, because we have the Marvel drop that's happening next week. That's a huge IP for them to do as an NFT. We got fun day boxes coming. We got so much going on next week. Next week's kind of crazy. It's good that this is kind of going to be over for now. I don't know if the next season starts up right away or if we're going to wait. We haven't seen a timeline for next season as well, too. So that's kind of a good thing to talk about tonight. I will have some guests come on throughout the night. I do have WhatsPoppincraze coming on, Harry from WhatsPoppincraze, and Sully. Sully from Nerds Unite as well, too. So a bunch of people are going to come on and talk some NFT with me, especially because they've been active in the NFT community for a while. And good to see what's happening and what's going on. And I have to figure out, do I need to burn some things as well, too? Do I need to see what's going on and what's happening? So, where is everyone from? Where is everyone hanging out from? Definitely some cool stuff, with a lot of things going on. I see Kenneth, welcome in the house tonight, too, as well. But yeah, a lot of things happening, lots of things going on with Droppp Arcade. And, just from, yesterday, you're seeing a big kind of jump with what's happening with especially not the, bottom of the board there, but you're seeing a lot happening with people that are in different, the top 333. You're going to see that starting to jump really quick, I think, tonight as we go through. And then who knows, where will I be at the end of the night? That type of thing, too, as well. And then we got PopFourceOne going to be on. And, right now, they're in first. Will they hold the first spot? Or will someone jump in there? There's some big players in there that could burn but it does take a while to burn a lot. So it'll be also interesting to see, if people are trying to come in and burn things in the last minute, all those kind of good things. Yeah. So right now, a lot of those. Oh, great, Kyle. You are from Orlando as well. Look at that. Another Orlando person in the house hanging out with us. I'm in Orlando area, so that's great. Big cluster. Yeah, you're seeing a lot of like that. that like 80 to 90 now, which, you know, we all guessed like you need at least 100 to play along. I think by the end, I'm thinking that's still going to be the case. That was a 101 burn. If you think about it, it's crazy to think someone could burn one card, a 101, but who all does that? Monster Pete, welcome in the house as well too. Hope you are doing well tonight from Vegas, hanging out. All right, so let's see. I'm just curious about what's happening, what's going on right now with this. So I want to go over, I'm going to bring Droppp Arcade up because I'm curious about, I haven't checked it out. I don't think there's much change in the first 3, but wait, I think it was Porcupine. I don't think Porcupine was in 3rd. I have to look. I did a screenshot from yesterday. So I have to look at the screenshots because I did screenshots to make sure I knew where people were at. And I wanted to make sure that I knew who was going to be where. So I did some screenshots so I could see how much has changed just from yesterday evening, probably 6 o'clock or something like that. I think like that. So I want to see how that's going and some changes with those. So what's going on, Pugwash? Thanks for coming over. Riley, what's up? Cashing in on some points. Yeah. Who knows? Like, you gotta, start getting those points in. Pugwash. What are you gonna, how are you gonna play into here? I'm always curious. And then, we'll be holding seasons. Yeah, I really want to hold on. Like, I don't want to burn like crazy. I knew I wouldn't have a chance in 1st, 2nd, 3rd. I don't want to play that game with people that have way more. I know that could easily surpass me if needed. I have a pretty good amount, though. I think I could last all 3 seasons because I continue to buy as well, too. So, but one of the things I wanted to kind of mention, one of the things you have to think about right now is 2nd season, you're not having as many drops. Like this season, 1st season, how many drops have we had? So many drops, right? Like if you look at the number of drops this last season, the additional drops isn't that much more. And then some more coming in and some more, you know, like you see those, like you're not going to have that many drops. And this year alone, since this launched, we haven't had that many drops. Like it's not dropping like it was for a little while there. We had so many drops in 2024. 2025 has been a little slower. So I'm curious, like you won't be able to build up as much points unless you go crazy on something like Marvel. There's going to be a lot of packs for Marvel. So something like that. It'll be interesting if people start buying a lot more on the aftermarket. How many people are willing to burn a 101? All those kind of things kind of come into play as well, too. So, David, I'm glad you are Team PopFourceOne. That's awesome. All right. So, looking at this, let's just go. Let's see if this works. Sometimes it's funky with me. I don't know if it's because I have my little share thing up here, but all the way down, you get 8. Burn your 8. Get in there. All the way up. Let's see. Let's go to me. So Professor.dp. I am 37th right now with 125,000 points. Not too bad. Not crazy, but not too bad. And we're hanging out here, not doing too bad. Trying to stay in there. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to stay up to the 3 a.m. mark. That's some craziness right there. So I wonder how it is. But yeah, what will those floors drop on Marketplace? Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things go on the marketplace. Right now, I mean, it's crazy enough. Like serious coins as they come out, you know, before you could get them really cheap. You can't get them for now. People know what they can sell them for because they know they have a utility. So it's also like anything new coming out, you're not getting deals, you're not getting steals. All right, so it looks like I have Sully behind the scenes here. You ready to jump in, Sully? Let me know when you're ready and get you in. You can hang out here, but we're just talking some great stuff here with some craziness. So welcome in. Let's see if we can cut this down.
Oh, there I am.
Yeah, welcome in.
Hey, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Good, good. So how you doing? I know you got to talk about it already a lot today. So you got to talk about, I got to catch a little bit, and then I had to go to meetings, all that kind of fun stuff with work and that, but I got to catch in and listen in some. But but it's been heating up pretty quick tonight. I feel like it's been heating up now in the last couple hours.
Yeah, I haven't looked at an update on the minimum for the 333. Oh, I see it's almost 85,000. It was at what, 76, 77 when I was streaming earlier today.
I mean, yeah, and looking right now, someone that burns, we're talking just about a 101, right? We saw a couple people. Here's probably the couple people that burned the 101 at least that get in there. Right now they're ranked 108, 105, 106, 107 kind of range, like the people that have 100,000 points burn. Will they stay in it? That is the question.
That pains me that people are burning 101s. I can't believe it.
And especially, it's really hard to see when they have. I would hold on to this. Like, if you're going to do that, wait till the last minute to see how close it is. Does that make sense? Like,
for sure.
If it's close enough for you to get in and get the pop you want and it's worth it, then do it. If it's not, you just burned a 101. And if you only have, say, this person, if they burned a 101, and I can tell you if they did or not. They didn't. So they got 100,000 in a different way. Let's see. Did Chris burn a 101? No. So it looks like I don't see anyone that just burned a 101. Or wait, converted here. That's why. Let's go convert. Yeah. They burned a 101, but they only have 30,000 points available. So what happens if it goes to over what they have? Did you just waste a 101? You know?
I think it's possible. I figured I started guessing a few weeks ago the cutoff would be around 100,000 points, but there's a lot of people past that 333 mark that have over 1 million points left that they could throw in the mix and could really shake things up at the end. I just don't think burning a 1 of 1 is worth it. Even if you do burn it and get into that top 333, I think the long-term value of a 1 of 1 is going to be much greater than a pop that's 1 of 333. I think save your money. And if you really want that, sell that 1 of 1 to somebody else later and then buy it. I would buy your 1 of 1.
I mean, I think even, I know people are asking crazy amounts sometimes for a 1 of 1, like $2,000. They're not going to get that probably at this point. At this point, I don't think anyone's willing to spend that. But, if you put it out there for $400, someone probably would pick it up.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a one they wanted, if it's one of the ones that maybe they're trying to get all of them from a set too. Maybe someone's like going after a whole, like really into Adventure Time, want to go after all of those. Well, one of them was burned earlier today. I saw one of the Adventure Time recently was burned. So, and that set was smaller. So I don't think all of them have ever been found as well too. Yeah. So no one might own a 101 from that series season 2, like series 2, that kind of thing. So it's crazy to see that.
Yeah, there could still be some lurking in some of those unopened packs that didn't get caught up in a burn. So it's possible that somebody could still pull one. But I just think, even if you could get $400 or $500, I don't think in the long run this pop that you'll go out to the top 333. It's essentially going to be one of 999. You just have the colorways. I don't think it's worth what the 1 of 1s are worth. I think hold it, see if you can sell it, even if you got to wait a while, and then buy that pop if you really, really want it.
Yeah. So easy question, I think, for tech here is, did Droppp announce a minimum point value needed to get participation in NFT? No, just burn 1 and you get your participation point. And I think I'm really surprised so many people burn so many early on. I'm really surprised about that. So I'm really surprised they burned so many early on with it. So,
well, I think a lot of people just didn't really look at all the rules of the game. We just spent a lot of time on my stream breaking down everything we could about it. And one of the key points is it resets after season 1. And I think there's plenty of people that just dove right in that did not understand that. Yeah, and they're going to be really ticked off when they finally figure it out if they haven't already. It's going to be some cold water right in their face.
I think too, now knowing how like the mini games works, I think that's going to change a lot of people like seeing mini games play out. I think they need to introduce them really early on this next season, because if they don't, I think a lot of people will hold and wait to burn things unless they want to be in that top maybe 3 place and kind of hoping to get like another proto like PopFourceOne did out of his being in first place at that time, or get a pack or something else released. But I think a lot of people are going to look at the games and like wait, because I burned probably a lot of things that I could have played into games earlier on just because I wanted to kind of secure a decent spot, but not a crazy spot, because they didn't announce anything. They didn't announce they're going to do any mini games or any pieces, but now they've thrown in there. How are people going to play a little different this second season?
Yeah, and they did indicate that they would probably change the rules of season 2 and season 3, either the points, what each thing is worth, and like you said, the mini games. Do they start that right away? I think that'll pace things a little better this time, which will be interesting to see. But like for me, I didn't burn anything up front, and there's only a couple of mini games where I was like, you know what, I'm going to go real quick to the market as soon as I hear what that game is and buy up a bunch of stuff, and I'll play a little bit, but I'm going to keep a bunch too because I know those are going to go up in value as the burns happen. So it kind of a win-win situation if you are quick enough when a new mini game is announced to jump in and have some fun with that.
So kind of like thinking about the points from this season, I'm thinking overall, do you think, where will the changes be in the points, do you think, with these? Because I think there was some that was like way under. I think mythics were way undervalued for this season.
Yeah.
Because only one, right? Wait, 2 drops with mythics? Was there 2 that had mythics in this, or 3?
2 or 3. I know we had at least the Funko Ween with the 2-pack. We had the first Funame, and then was there one
Festival
other?
of Fun.
There
right?
you go.
3.
There
so
you
we
go.
had 3 with mythics, but really mythics, you're maxed out at only 1,500 max mythics if everyone had a card. If they're all claimed and everyone had a card, there'd be only 1,500 max. And a lot of people, I don't know. A lot of people, I know at least I'm this way, and I think you're probably this way. You're not going to burn everything. You're going to keep at least one of probably that mythic from that set. So if you only got one mythic, are you going to burn that mythic as well too? So I think that was the lowest point piece.
We got to look at, for me anyway, I'm much more of I was talking about this earlier today. I'm much more of a long-term investor. And to make quick moves now for the sake of getting one of the season 1, 2, or 3 pops, which is ultimately a 1 out of 999, I'm kind of excited, but not excited enough to burn anything essential, anything I really, really want to keep. Plus, what happens after season 3? I mean, I know we're talking into 2026, but will there be another Droppp Arcade with a completely different set of rules? Like, what happens then? I don't want to give up this early on and then regret it. So I'm really more the diamond hands on all this and just watching from afar to see what happens.
I think this will be interesting too. I said this, like, imagine you being that 334th place like person, that person that was just missed out on the last minute. You could have burned one more comment to get 8 points or something. And like it's going to be that ridiculous. I think at the end, it's going to literally come down to that. Also, I mean, that is one thing they always said is like the person that started the earliest. It sounds like they'll get. I started right away just in case I was at. Like, wasn't that the thing? Like, if people were tied with points, whoever burnt first,
whoever was first,
it would like whoever burnt first and that kind of thing. So it'll be interesting how that all plays out.
I mean, the likelihood of people tying at 333 place is probably pretty slim, but it could happen. I'm glad they put it out there at least.
Oh yeah. All right, I see Harry back there. What's PopFourceOne? So let's get PopFourceOne, who is currently in first place.
There he is.
Hey, what's popping, guys?
What's happening?
Let's see. I'm going to see if I can switch you guys over because I think it's easier once we have questions. Let's see if I can.
I'm still sitting too like a floating head.
There we go.
Also, I'm sorry, my camera's like, I couldn't figure out how to get it the other way.
You're fine.
I've never really done lives before, so.
Really?
This might be a new bug for you then. Maybe you get excited about it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
So right now, big things. So what were you burning at first, Harry? What did you go after? I'm curious.
So
like what,
I actually burned all the non-licensed stuff first, Freddy's, Protos, and Franny's, and all that, and then that's why I'm sure you guys all saw that mini comp with the Protos. I was like, dang, I burned so many Proto cards way before that was even done, or else I probably could have burned even more than I did. But I just didn't want to touch my licensed things at first, you know what I mean? And
Smart.
then I burned a lot of commons, obviously. That if you go to my name right now, you could already see my
Yeah.
converted. So right now I'm looking. I burned 16,000 commons.
jeez.
I haven't burned any grails or any
Yeah.
mythics.
Royalties
So
too. You
I'm
don't
trying.
want to
Yeah,
burn
I don't
any
want to burn any
royalties.
royalties. I really like my royalty cards, but
Smart man.
if I have to do it later on, I will. Obviously, it's pretty obvious by now. I'm trying to hold that #1 spot. So that's my goal for season 1.
Do you know who these people are in second and third place? Do you know your competition?
I don't know Porcupine. I know Bulldoggy. I don't know him personally like that, but I know he's watched my channel. I've had him comment on my channel before. So, but I've paid close attention. He hasn't burned anything ever since he. So if you pay attention to Porcupine and Bulldoggy right now, I think what he did, he basically made it so if Porcupine burns his entire wallet, he still holds his second place.
Oh, it's
So
like the
right
final
now,
Jeopardy question.
yeah. So right now, Porcupine, for example, he's at 329,000, and he has 137,000 left to burn. If he were to burn that entire inventory,
Oh.
Bulldoggy would still be second place. So I think that's what he wanted to do, hold his second place. But if he wanted to, he could definitely put up a good fight against me because we have basically almost the exact same amount. I have a little more than him, but he's still right about what I got inventory wise. So he could definitely put up a good
Now
fight.
there's some sleepers out there though too.
There
I
are.
see some people.
There's someone that has a bunch of one-of-ones. King.dp. He could definitely burn like 5 one-of-ones and pass me right off the bat. But I don't think anybody would want to burn 5 one-of-ones for one season. But you never know. You don't know how people want to play this.
3 million points. So
Yeah.
pretty good.
But he has
19 one-of-ones.
Yeah.
19.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a lot.
He could
That's
burn
crazy.
5 of them, and just like that, he'll take the lead. I personally have 2 one-of-ones, but I don't want to burn any. I don't want to.
I wouldn't.
Those.
I would
Yeah.
hold on to them. I mean, I don't think you don't need to. And really, I mean, at the end of the day, if for some reason you didn't come in first, Terry, I mean, at the end of the day, you'd be like, at least you'd probably be top 3 either way.
Yeah.
So at least you'd fall into that. And then also, I don't like, unless they give something more, which I really hope they do. Like, I know they're giving you the digital thing, but I really hope they do something for the top 3 beyond that. Even a swag bag. I don't, if it's not going to be a pro, they have to have so many protos of the NFTs though. Like every NFT had to have a proto along the way, and I don't see them out on the market. So someone still has those, unless they're keeping them for fun days or something else going on. I feel like there must be other protos, but I've never seen an AP for the Witch Doctor soda or the other soda. I'd love to who has those APs of the sodas and stuff like that. So there's some things that someone has probably stored away somewhere, or they're lost away.
I mean, I know at Funko Hollywood some people did get APs. I never did. I live close to Funko Hollywood, but I know it's possible to get AP sodas at HQ and Funko Hollywood. I've never had that, but I know for sure at the stores you were lucky to get AP sometimes from your cans.
I think right now it's crazy because I'm holding out. I don't want to convert more if I don't have to. I'm good. Yeah. If I could stay, if I do, I'm ready to convert series coins. I have a couple that have probably 40, 50 series coins in different groups. Because I did go crazy and buy some early on. Because I figured they always said from the very beginning when the guys did a podcast from Droppp a while back, They said serious coins would have a utility later on.
Yeah.
Never mentioned
I remember
anything
that.
else, but they said serious coins had a utility because we were all wondering, like, what's the big deal about? Like, they're cool. I like them. They're really neat designs. Like the last couple have been excellent, like super awesome design. But like, what's the use of them other than like that kind of thing?
I always wish they sent physical tokens. I always wanted that, but never happened. That would have been really cool.
Or enamel pins of
Yeah.
those coins would be
Exactly.
dope. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but I know on eBay, like sometimes I search NFT Pops just to see values and all that. I've seen someone does make like the series coins, but I don't think they're actual coins. I think they're made of like rubber or some sort of
Yeah,
vinyl
probably
material.
3D printed.
Yeah, and they look cool. I've been tempted to buy them sometimes. I'm like, but no, I never did. I like official, I like official stuff. But
I remember when someone was
I'm
making
also,
the cards, like making the actual cards. I don't know if they got shut down for doing it or what happened, but they made the physical cards and with the real, and then they also made the real numbers.
I remember that too.
And stuff like that, and for stickers, like you could add on.
I made some stickers for that first Turtles run.
Yeah, I've seen you do that too, so I remember that.
I was going to do it for a lot more, but people weren't interested in paying the cost of manufacturing those. So I backed off of it. I have some design for Big Boy, but I never printed them.
I think if you had your own machine that did really good quality stickers, like that's you could easily, and I think the person had cards, they would make cards out of them and have them. I don't remember who that was, but I remember seeing them. They were really well done. And they were like metallic looking, like shiny and everything like that. And they look really good. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool to have with it actually. But I mean, really the quality of the NFTs have been so good overall. Like the designs, the boxes, everything about them. I mean, with, everyone gets on their little hiccups and things that happen or delays and things like that. But overall, like for limited pieces, for what they are and what they do with them. And I also I think both of you enjoy the digital side of cards as well too.
100%.
Oh yeah, I think I have almost everyone. I think there's a few of like the Freddy stuff from like the bonuses, not the bonus ones, but for example, the one that they were giving away at DPK. I don't have that one. That one's like one of the most elusive ones to have, which I think someone's gonna win that. Whoever's closest to the guess of the floor at the end, right?
Yeah, that Investor Day one. I've been hunting that forever.
Yeah, same here.
I went through every single wax wallet that's holding one and searched the entire web to see if I could find out who owned the wallets, and none of that came up. There's people who just got it, and that's probably the only reason they opened that wallet.
Speaking of that, what was your guys' initial guess on the floor? Because mine was initially 75K, and we're way beyond that by now. And
I said 200,000.
That was you, Sully?
Yeah, early on. Over the last few weeks, I backed it off and I said 100K, but my original guess was 200K.
Yeah,
I thought over 100. I thought like it would be probably towards that like 125 mark or so, but I don't know if it'll get there. Like right now, we pull it up. It is at
85,000.
85,000. So it could get there. But I don't think it'll get there because I looked at like the people around me too. I think that's one other thing is looking at like the people where I'm at. I'm right at like I think I was almost like 40th, 37th or something like that. And I haven't seen a lot of movement above me. A lot of movement below, and all these are really close. If you look at them, they're not far off. Like if you start looking at these, they're literally only a few NFT burn away. Like all these are so close. So and if you click on anyone, you really wonder, like some of these people have a good amount of points, like 88,000 still left. This person has 0. So that's where you start noticing if the people have nothing to burn, unless they're willing to go buy stuff right now or have a wallet. Like when you only have 8 points left, you're just hoping you can stay in there. And I don't know if I would want to play that game.
That's way too close. Can you imagine? They go to bed tonight and then they get kicked down 40 spots. Ouch.
Oh man, I think a lot of people aren't sleeping tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a late night for a lot of people.
Right now, if you look at top 10, everyone above in the top 10 has 200,000 points. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
I didn't think that many people would do 200,000, but 10 people, and there's a couple that are not that far from 200 either. So we might have.
Yeah, even I mean, around what I have, like once you start jumping up, the 150 mark is like what 21 place. I don't think you'll see a lot of movement within these, unless people are really going for that final, like want to go for first, second, third. I don't think you'll see a lot of movement under 50 place, like the bottom 50, unless people really start burning.
I think there's a lot of people waiting in the wings that are going to make their moves in the final 2 or 3 hours, and then the people that are in that top space, like PopFourceOne, are going to have to make some decisions on, do I want to spend a little bit more to get back into first, or do I want to get back into that top 10? Or
I think the battle of the top 10, but that 10 to 50, you're probably not going to see a ton of movement, because a lot of those people below that don't have a ton to spend, or they do spend it, they're not going to have anything for next season. So are they willing to burn it all for this season? I don't think I would be where, I mean, I have a 500,000 points, so I don't. I could burn everything and get to like that. Well, why? But why do that if I don't care about being in first, second, third? There's no. I just want to be comfortable where I'm at. And if I need to burn something, I was going to burn some series points tonight just to bump myself up. Like by the time I go to bed. I don't know. I keep tweeting like maybe I'll wake up at 2:50 a.m. on my time just to see where things are at. See what craziness happens at those last.
Can't hurt. Wake up and take a little peek just to be sure at the end.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. This though changes. I think the big thing, this changes the marketplace for next season. And until we hear the points, though, we don't know how much that'll really change that marketplace, right? Because if they drop series coins down to a lower amount, then they're not going to be. Are they worth $1 then? Like that could hurt people that bought them for $1. Like right now, if you go buy them, you can't find them for $1 really. Yeah. Anything current, you can find maybe. I think right now you might be able to go on one of the very current drops, the last 4 drops, and find one for like 90 some cents. But you're not going to find them like you used to be able to find them, like for 50 cents, 40 cents, 30 cents, stuff like that. You're not going to find them for under $1. But I think really they need. I wonder what they'll notice. Like, oh, we didn't have many mythics burn. We need to up the point value for mythics so we see some more burn for next season. That kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know how they'll change it up. I wouldn't imagine they'll change it too much, because building that infrastructure, all the code to make all this happen, costs them a lot of money, I'm sure. So I bet they'll make some tweaks, but I don't think they'll go nuts on changing it too much.
I feel like the Ultra is undervalued, but other than that,
think the Ultra will change? I mean, hell, for all we know, they'll diminish some of the points.
Yeah, I mean, they could easily diminish some of the points. I mean, I think Mythics would be up. Grails, maybe. I don't know how many were burned. Royalties. I think royalties are way harder to get than Grails sometimes, though. That's the funny thing. Like, if you think about, like, I know most sets have more royalties than Grails, but any percentage-wise, that always has the lowest percentage-wise at the end of actually claimed. Like, anywhere from 50+% sometimes. So like usually 30 at least is the minimum I've seen for royalties. I haven't seen too many that, get closer to like the actual number. Most of them are under 500 or more of what they were supposed to be originally for the royalty number. So Ultras we'll see more of a little bit. I mean, we're getting one in the next drop as well. We hadn't I'm surprised we didn't get one for Funame. I don't know. I don't know how they're playing out, like when they do a mythic, when they do an ultra, when they do, how they're playing these out money wise or, pack wise, how many packs they have, how many legendaries they drop in a set. We're getting 2 grails with our next Marvel set as well too, but it's huge pack numbers. So you can easily do that when you have that large of pack numbers to play with. You have to add some more incentive, I think, to it.
It seems like every drop they tinker with a little bit of the setup, whether it's the pack numbers, the number of legendaries, adding an ultra, adding a mythic. I feel like they're just constantly doing doing testing to figure out what's the sweet spot. But it's so hard to dial it in when you have the big differences in the licenses and the molds. Because like I always talk about with my audience, I personally, I'm in on all of them. But I look at the sentiment, the response from the Discord group to really gauge how deep I'm going to go on packs. And there's a lot of times where people, they don't like what they see. It's unfortunate that they're not fans, but you just never know. It's hard to gauge.
This is the first time I've actually saw the calendar pop up for season 2. Have you guys seen the calendar for season 2?
Oh no.
This is out now. So this is the official calendar. We're looking at July 1st. It starts and it goes through it goes through October 16th. So about the same time frame. About the same time frame as our last one.
Couple weeks shorter.
But it just must have dropped because I was scrolling down through and I wanted to see the calendar for this time. I was like, oh, they have the season 2 calendar finally. So we'll get a little breather. All of us don't have to convert anything anytime soon after today. So once that's done, you get a little break, but it looks like we'll get it to the next October. So
wait a minute. I don't think those dates are right. I don't think the months or the years are right. Shouldn't that just be October 16, 2025? And then it's got to be.
Think.
Yeah,
I would hope.
And then because Q1 2026 is when it ships.
I would hope. I hope it's not a year, but that would be a long season there. But I think someone was just copying off of. I mean, this is the first time I've seen this up too, so they must have just put it up. Because I've been looking around for anything for season 2 to pop up yet, and this is the first time I've seen something. So if it closes on September 15th, redemption window happens October 16th. That's what you got, your 30 days there. That's what it is. So September 15th closes, then you got your redemption window to claim it. But yeah, they have awkward N and M's are hard for drop. Maybe 5s and 6s are hard for someone. I don't know.
I wonder, it might be worth keeping a real close eye on this to see if they end up inadvertently put up new information on the points in the little window that we have before they officially announce it. Imagine if you knew that point differential on some of those, you could go to town on the market before anybody else caught wind of it.
I mean, just like whenever they drop those mini games and you see it first on, that's what I know. I think Pugwash was in there, right? For the proto one, because I went in there and started buying some protos, and then I went back in there later and all of them were gone under a certain amount. So it's like, oh, I know who went in there. I know who went in there and bought them all, like clearing them out, especially on wax. So much easier. Drop, I hate buying multiples on. Like, it's a pain.
I did that on card ID 40. I bought 200 within like the first 5 minutes after they announced it. I just went to town and was grabbing up everything I could. Yeah,
it definitely, it's crazy. So, what was it? Oh, this is an interesting one. So I don't know how many people here. Of course, I think a lot of people have talked to and shared with Pop and Stock, of course, but also Climbing Moons tool is another one.
Yeah.
I'm going to switch to this tab really quick because this one kind of plays out of where people could possibly be if they wanted to play in the max points. And that's one reason I'm not too worried about where my placement is, depending on max points, is I think you kind of have to go through this, and this is one way you could kind of see for your max points. You know, Harry, you're right in there. I think at number 6, max points. So, like you said, I think you were talking about King could easily move. You got a couple other people that are playing in there. Some people won't play. Some people are NFT people. They're not going to play as much and burn it, of course, and go through as much. But you have, I think I was 40. So I originally had 685 max points for at that time before I started burning anything. But I was curious about who was at 333. And this might tell you a lot. There's, of course, people are able to go buy stuff and get things. And, you know, 101 could throw everything off, definitely. But you're looking at 333. It's only 134 max points. So are you going to, like, 333, 134, is that going to be what we're going to see at the end of the day, you think? Or is it going to be a little lower? That's max. That's the last person max. That's it. If other people don't play into their max points too as well. I don't know.
That's really hard to say because people could make moves. I think Walking Miracle pointed out earlier, not only could they have multiple wallets and they can make transfers, they could also have stuff sitting in wax that they could transfer over real quick. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to go nuts unless they need to make that bump to get into the 333 or they want to make them run for 1, 2, or 3. But
yeah,
we could see some craziness. I mean, every time I refresh the leaderboard now, we were at just over. We finally surpassed 3 million items burned. That just jumped up another 6,000, and now the minimum is 85,622. I mean, it's ticking up like 100 points every couple of minutes now.
So now the question will be, when should I start burning more? What point? At what point? At what point would I be smart to burning more? Now it's picking up there pretty quick because I'll share this tab. It looks like Bulldoggy's jumped up a little bit, right? From what he was before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I want to see my stuff from yesterday. So I took screenshots yesterday. So yesterday, Bulldoggy was at 330,000. Harry, you were at 515. So Bulldoggy definitely has burnt some today. Pretty good amount, 130 plus thousand points. Porcupine was 317. I think didn't go up, didn't change too much. So that's not where a big change was. Yesterday at like I said, about 6 o'clock Eastern, 333 was 70,000.
Mm-hmm.
So we're definitely seeing that change happen. It'll be super interesting to see how this plays out. So that 333 is already at 85. Everyone around there, everything's so close for everyone that's there, though. Like literally 85,000. I'm just gonna 86. Like you don't even get to the 90s. You are in, wow, you don't even get to the 90,000 until you're in like 241. So 100 folks away from that. Only 85 to 90 though. So there are a lot of people that are in that 5,000 range of spending points that can move them up or down really quick.
Yeah, 5,000 is not much at all.
That's not many series coins you need to convert, you know, that kind of thing if you had to. So yes, it's always hard to see the 101s go away.
I don't think he would answer because he doesn't want to give it away. But for Harry, do you have a number in mind you're willing to go to if somebody starts challenging your first place? Like, have you set yourself a limit?
I haven't really set myself a limit. I would say I'm willing to go pretty high. because a lot of the sets that we haven't done yet, I have a lot of inventory still, like for Dungeons and Dragons Toy Store. I'll probably, if I have to, I'll go up to like
Toy Story, you went pretty heavy.
700,000, 750. Yeah. I think that's the highest I'd go.
I mean, I think you're pretty good at, like, you have enough in the next couple.
Yeah.
Then that's what I'm thinking too. Like, I have pretty good amount. Like April Fools, I've went pretty hard on because the packs have been so cheap. So I've been grabbing those packs mainly because of Droppp Arcade too. Like, I'm collecting so many series coins. Like, I'll open standard packs, man. Sometimes don't sleep on those because you can get more series coins if you need them for later on too, as well too. So if you're the same price or a little lower to get a standard pack, pick them up. You know, if you're going to pick up packs and open them anyways, you got a chance to get 3 series coins out of 3 standard packs in verse 1 and stuff like that. So you never know what you can also pick up at the time. So it's I think it's going to be a really crazy jump, I think, at the end here with some of those. But even with, I'm always wondering, like, what is someone willing to burn? Like, what is that point? What is that point of, all the people that are coming into this? And then are they out for because it's going to be hard. Because, like I said, you build up. How many seasons have we had? Like, first season, how many drops have we had before the season? A ton. After the season,
a lot.
Not that many. So the point value, the top point value, I wonder how much that will fluctuate for next time. That'll go lower because there's not as much. Unless people go heavy onto the aftermarket. And I don't know if people will. Like, will people want to spend? How much are you willing to spend to get this Freddy as well, too? The people that don't have the packs, but decide to go after instead of paying $10 for a pack, you go out, how many things are you willing to go after? Are you willing to buy 10 series coins, over and over and over again, instead of buying packs, but you don't have a luck of getting a legendary or anything like that? I don't know.
I think it's going to be really interesting to see the value on eBay and Mercari and stuff of that Freddy and the Monster, that 333. I think that, and then what's the impact of that on everything in the market? Because if that thing's $1,000 pop, which I don't think it'll be, people will go, the price of everything will go up to chase season 2, season 3. But if that's more like a $200 pop, which is kind of where I'm thinking it's going to settle after a few months, I don't think it'll have much of an impact. The problem is how many people, like PopFourceOne, I'm going to assume he has 1 wallet. How many players in that top 333 have 2 or 3 wallets and they're buying them so they can sell some extras? How many will actually be on the market? I think a lot of those people are going to consider that a trophy and not want to sell it. So it could be a pretty valuable pop. I don't know. I can't decide.
That's what I think too. I feel like most of the top 333 are wanting this for their collection rather than selling. So I'm very curious to see how many of the tokens, if any, will even be for sale, because I'm not gonna lie. I personally have 1 extra account in the top 333 right now. That one I'm not burning as heavy, but I look like I'm gonna have to go to like 110, 120 to be safe. But
interesting.
Yeah, I wanted an extra, so I could get multiples if I want, but I just wanted 2.
And I don't blame you. You got that kind of weight. You play it how you want.
I mean, if anyone spent the money on it, they spent the money on it. I mean, that's the truth about this. There is no, you can only get 1. I think the great thing about this is you still have to divide up your assets, though. Like, you still have to spend your tokens, your points, just like trying to win that giant teddy bear at the arcade versus winning the PlayStation 5 at the arcade, right? You got to spend your money to get your points to win, to eventually get the PlayStation 5 versus the teddy bear instead. So I think with the arcade piece, I think even the people, if they're smart, if they do get an extra, don't sell it now.
Yeah.
Like, hold on to it, because if less people are willing to sell it, the higher the price will go. Yeah. And once the next one comes out, if the person that didn't get in the 333 last time gets in it this time because they just started maybe Droppp and went heavy into it and have enough points to get into 333 for next time, then they'll be like, I want that other Freddy. I'm willing to pay 400, 500, 600, whatever, the possibly buy the past Freddy because I want that now. I think it's all about supply and demand with those. And I think, I personally won't give up mine. I know that, like, I stay in there, and I've thought about jumping in with another account, but I'm like, I want to keep for all 3 seasons, so I want to make sure I'm good for all 3 seasons, and I'd rather be set for all 3 seasons than make a little extra off of selling one, that kind of thing. I think.
Now, what's funny is, Sully, you said this might be like $200-300. If that happens, I think that's crazy because right now the floor is almost at 90,000, 100,000, which is equivalent to spending like $400-500 to have that amount in inventory. So I'm very curious to see what ends up being the value, because if it does end up at 200-300, you're better off just buying the token at this point if you haven't burned that amount.
And that's part of every drop, that game of, do I go packs? Do I buy the legendary or grail I want? Do I wait on that royalty for the token? I mean, this is the same type of game, and I hadn't put the numbers to it like you did, the dollar value. So that's interesting to hear that.
Yeah. So, for example, 1 of 1 is 100,000 points. 1 of 1s mostly go for $400-500.
Yeah.
500 series coins, I think, would be equivalent to 100,000, right? I think. Which those are $1 each.
Yeah.
So
I think it's going to be at least when it hits the. All right, so some are going to at least. I bet you at least 10 are going to hit the Droppp marketplace.
That seems fair.
Right after
that seems about right.
Yeah,
I think about 10 will at least hit the Droppp marketplace, but I bet you the starting value will be around $600. I think people will start it high, undercut each other if you want at certain point, but why not start it high and see what happens? Because someone might say, yeah, I don't care, $600. Like, there's people out there that I see them all the time on Whatnot. They're willing to spend whatever to get whatever they want because they want it at that moment. Like, sometimes at that point, the friction is the USDC. I think that's the biggest friction for people that want to spend the money sometimes. Is I think that's why some of this people are like, I'll just wait for the aftermarket to get the pop. Like, they don't want to figure out the crypto, or they can't for their state for some reason, something with their bank, with whatever happens. Some people have difficulty getting it still. I find it pretty easy now. I think, I use Coinbase. Haven't had an issue with Coinbase since I've converted to that, when they converted all their systems over and everything like that for the USDC. But I know other people, it's just not their thing too. They have other ways they want to buy it. Who knows? Or they want to use a credit card to buy it or something like that, and pay over time and that kind of thing. They might not have throw down, or they might want to trade a different grail for it too. A lot of people wait to kind of trade stuff as well. I'm sure, Harry, you've probably gotten offers on stuff before, a trade offer instead or something like that. Those kind of things for a grail, which, it's a good way, if you pull something and willing to. Now, do you guys all pretty much whatever you get, do you claim or do you sell any of your redemption coins or cards before?
For the most part, I redeem everything. The only time I've ever sold is if something else comes out and I'm like, I don't want to spend anything out of my pocket. I just sell it for USDC and then buy it, whether it's packs or redeemables. But I rarely sell. I mostly sell in physical hand. I just feel like I want to see the pop physically before I make the choice of selling it.
Yeah. Do they back up like a truck with a pallet jack when you get your stuff in, or do you have like a storage warehouse somewhere?
No, so honestly, I don't even know how to make room anymore, but I tend to. I don't know if you guys. I mean, ProfessorJosh has been in like my recent Whatnot shows. I started doing that recently. Whenever I have way too much inventory, I'm like, I need to get rid of some stuff. Because Whatnot's great to get rid
it
of
is.
a big amount.
It's a
And I've
fast
gotten some people
way.
take some really good steals off some of the stuff. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I'm like, I don't mind, you know. If you could get it for a good deal, take it.
I seen your Whatnot, and I've been in there, and I bought some stuff from you, Harry, and I know other people. Someone actually bought me something from you as well too.
I think you got my Funko Ween stuff.
So I got your Funko Ween stuff because I actually never got that drop. That was one of the drops I didn't play in or didn't get for some reason. I never got anything from it, so I wanted to grab some of that. Jason, I just I'll unbox it actually coming up on a video this week, but the Liquidator. Jason was nice enough to gift to me. He actually bought it from your stream. So that was a really amazing thing. That was one I was missing for that set. He's been a really great supporter of the channel and a friend and stuff like that. And, you know, having, you know, that kind of thing is the same thing. The only time I do sell, like if I have a bunch of a grail and I want another grail and I never pull it from a pack, weird example, Teen Titans. I have not been able to pull that grail. So I ended up selling it for season 2. Yeah, so I actually have a pack today to open for tonight. But I actually ended up selling a Festival of Fun one that's about the same price as that one. And I was like, you know, like that's even for me. If I sell something about even and can get back something even, I'll do that every once in a while. But like you said, I'd rather have them in. First, I think the value's there. Most of them I put away. Every once in a while I sell a couple here and there just to kind of have some things, or I use them in the past for mystery box hits and things like that as well too, like those kind of things. But I think down the road, I think there's a lot of value in most of these that people have no idea about. Like it takes 4 or 5 years to get the value there. And I think Sully has seen that a lot with like stuff over the years that you've picked up and are now maybe selling on eBay and things like that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, some of those pops I bought in 2011, 2012, 2013 for $15. I've got, you know, offers on $1,500, $2,000 for. I knew it. And when I first saw those numbers on the pop boxes, I was like, hey, $480 in the world for a Disney pop or Pixar? Like, no way is that not going to go to at least a couple $100. It's exceeded what I thought it would. But I urge people, like I liked PopFourceOne's approach to burning a lot of the commons, and he said early on, I hope people heard this, the non-licensed stuff. That's so smart, because I think we're still really early on. I say this all the time, and maybe it's me in an echo chamber, but we're still really early on in this digital collectibles NFT thing. And in 2, 3, 5, 10 years, even if this thing's still kicking along, digital collectibles and Ethereum and all the different blockchains that there are, people are going to go back and will go turtles, TMNT, NFTs limited to this one only has 600 pieces left. Like these things could have serious value. Like do not burn unless you really think it's worth it. Hold is my recommendation to everybody. Like, unless you go the PopFourceOne route. And I don't know what ProfessorJosh, he's probably like going, shut up, Sully. I did what I wanted to. I'm going to get that damn pop. But like, just think about the long-term play on this. And it costs you nothing to store those. You just leave them in the wallet and you wait and you see what happens. And I think we're going to see a lot of change over these first 3 seasons in the value of some of that stuff. I just can't see myself throwing away any legendaries, grails, royalties that down the road I'll bite myself for selling or burning.
I mean, I've burned legendaries, but grails I haven't. And I'm sure I know you follow me, ProfessorJosh. You've seen my Beetlejuice grails, right?
Yeah.
So basically I was hunting for the gold 1 of 1 and I went crazy. Nobody else was ripping. I'm not lying. Nobody else was ripping for days. I was hunting and then there was one day I did not rip a pack. Someone ripped, I think it was 2 standards or 2 premiums. They pulled the gold. They only ripped 2 packs. I was depressed for like 2 weeks. I'm not gonna lie.
It's like a slot machine.
The grail was going for $100. Beetlejuice grail, 90 to 100. I was like, I'm not selling them. I had 81. I pulled 81 grails. I redeemed them all, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've gotten rid of 30 of them already.
Yeah, they're going for what, 180 to 200 on eBay right now.
200,
and you know, it's paying for my initial investment, which I didn't get the gold 1 of 1, but I'm gonna end up with a good amount of free pops from the set for sure. So
Yeah, when you play the kind of
and
numbers
I have 81 cards I could burn. So that's on top of the
It's
physicals.
10% of the market right now.
Yeah.
So you have, I mean, that's a big deal too. And you know, I talked to Harry too, and I'm like, you know, you kind of set the market for it as well too. Like you might see what's on eBay right now, Sully, but at a certain point, that eBay will dry up.
Yeah,
pretty quick
for sure,
and it will become. We're gonna look at Harry for if you need an extra effort, extra magician. If you need an extra magician, you'll find it. But I think also, I mean, I think a lot of people slept on that royalty big time.
Oh yeah,
because I remember I grabbed 2 or 3 extra at the end, just bought coins because they were going for such a cheap price.
I believe 45, 50.
Beetlejuice. It is, and it's a low number. It's like a decently low number Beetlejuice. Like so many people sleep on these royalties.
Really cool pop.
I have seen so many Freddies people sleep on. Great example. I Stranger Things. I bought all 3 of the ones for Stranger Things about 3 or 4 years ago. Or 3 of them, right? 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them. All 4 for $600.
Wow.
How much is one worth now?
You remember this guy?
$600.
I love that one.
This guy's like under 1,000 pieces.
Yep.
But the sticker says 2,700 and he goes for like 60, 75 bucks. So this is another good example of a Freddy that's way undervalued just because people say, oh, 2,700 pieces.
Yeah.
But he's under 1,000 pieces.
So glad they're changing the stickers, but I really would like to see something that notes those proper numbers, like what I did for those first turtle stickers. Because I think it makes a huge difference when people know, as I call it, the full story.
I mean, all the Disney ones, like all the Disney, both Disney Afternoon set and Mickey and Friends set, like those people really have no idea the redemption numbers on, like crazy low.
I'm sitting on 2 of the minis. I think those are 470, 480 pieces, something like that, because
they're like around 450, I think 460. But
one day when people figure that out,
she's under $100. That's
insane.
Which I get it. I mean, it's not a special looking mini, but still, it's super limited.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited to see how that affects values too, like the official sticker counts.
It's gonna make it better, I think.
It's gonna be cool, even for sold out sets, because we never get the exact amount.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, this was the biggest, like, you need to do this. Like, you have time, especially. All right, so for a while they've been doing good about getting stuff out pretty quick. Like, it seems like 3 months later we would get drops. Yeah, I know they've had damage issues recently and stuff like that, but before it was 6 months after a redemption window happened. I'm like, you have time to put a sticker on them in 6 months. Like, print a new sticker, put them on them. It wouldn't be that hard to do. So I'm really glad they stepped up and did that. I think that's a huge one. I don't think at this point they need to do the Octane 5 QR code type sticker for it at all. At a certain point, will they? Hopefully they don't put it on the front. Hopefully they put it on the side or something else. Like, we don't need everything to block the whole window. Like, because I don't want to get rid of the number sticker. You know, I want something on there. They don't want to print it on the box because then it'll probably delay it even more and those kind of things if you're printing it like on demand once it happens on the box. I don't know. I think it'll be interesting how that kind of plays out, but they haven't tried to introduce those Octane 5 stickers yet to the NFT line. I don't know if the boxes are going to be really hard to fake with that the metallic on them and everything else. Like, just like I saw the Pop Pluses now, they have like that metallic kind of shine, and that, like, it's going to be expensive for someone to fake that box and get those out there. I'm sure at some point someone will. Somehow will get out there, but I'll be curious if they move to that for Droppp. I think that's a big one. They improved their shipping a lot. I mean, I just Beetlejuice alone, Harry, you got all those in. Like, did you have any damage?
I only had 2 damage pops, which were very minor. I didn't even bother. It was like very small. And I think I how many boxes did I get? I want to remember.
A lot.
How
A
many
lot.
pallets?
300. I know it was 310 pops.
Dang.
Did you get it in your doorway? That's the question. When you came
I
home,
think I got
that night.
105 boxes. I think. Yeah.
Uh,
But the hardest part really is opening them all and checking all of them. People are probably like, dang, what do you do? Like, it takes me hours to open them all, go through them.
and then you got to put them in all in a protector. And
where's that unboxing video? I want to watch that.
I've almost done it. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm like, dude, this is gonna be such an awkward video. Just seeing me open.
You should do a live stream and talk to people. You should just do a live stream and talk to people while you do it. People would watch and talk to you.
Yeah, that would be funny. Maybe Toy Story with my 500 scuds.
Oh, yeah. 500 scuds. Wow.
So,
dude, they were going for $12, and I was like, how is a ultra 5,000 piece $12 when Funko is selling the limited piece? If they sell a 5,000 piece right now, it's $40, I think, or $30 or something like that. And then this Toy Story pop, where is it?
That's what happens when the flippers set the market.
Yeah,
too many flippers on that one.
Let me find it.
Which one was it?
The Scud.
Okay,
Toy Story.
Oh yeah,
this guy. Do you guys remember this recently?
Oh yeah,
just released? 5,000 pieces, and I think Funko sold it for 15 or 20. I don't remember. 20.
It was 25. I think
it was 20 inside the protector, and it sold out. Now it's going for like $35. So if this is going for $35, there's no doubt Scud's gonna go for 35. So I thought, good investment. 500 cards for Future Arcade.
I'm really shocked that after so many years of doing this, that we're not at a point now where people really understand the value, how limited the NFT ones are, and what the value is. It's not for a lack of us trying to do our jobs to like tell everybody about it, because we have, but like there's so many people that just still don't get it, and they're like, what are those NFT things? I mean, I don't hear it as much as I used to, but I still hear it some, and I'm just surprised that people don't look at them and immediately go, that's gold, I gotta get in on that. Like, Funko just doesn't make that much limited stuff anymore. The new stuff they're doing, like that 10 toy, that's different. But there's not that many that are numbered anymore. Not like in the old days.
And if they are numbered, like the ones recently with fan rewards, you have to use rewards points, and then you have to pay for a pop. And it's not even retail. They're adding a certain cost based on the limited piece. So I think, Josh, you got that one Deadpool one or one of those other, right? Like, I think it was the anime one you got, right? How much was that?
Well, I got the anime one. Yeah, the first one, the very first anime one. That
I think that one was 50, right? Or something like that.
It was $40 because it was only 1,200 piece, so it was $40. But it's going for $220 on eBay.
Yeah, which is nuts because some grails from the NFTs don't even go for 200 yet.
And it's just a metallic change on the mold.
Yeah,
it's not a new mold. It's not anything. I think a lot of people, I mean, one of the big things is IP has a lot to do with like price wise. I mean, great example was Goldie Rogers. I'll use him as an example from Fun Days last year. I got the one from your auction because I got it at a decent deal. Your charity auction, Sully, from last year. I grabbed that one because I'm like, I got it at a decent price. I'm like, it's not going down. It's going to just keep going up.
Is it 3,000 pieces?
3,400.
Yeah.
3,400 pieces. And
that goes more than some of the LE999 450 jails. Liquidator. You pointed him out earlier. He's like under 500 pieces. Yep. Amazing glow, amazing pop. One of a kind character they've never done before, but he's going for $200 versus Goldie Roger. But obviously, like I said, it's anime license, but that's a big difference in pieces. 3,000 versus 450.
But still, that's
it's just.
I mean, I license stuff. It's just it insane that like these. I get when a Franny or a Proto, they don't have at this point they don't have the demand. Now later on, who knows? Franny could be the demand 5 years from now. Franny collectors are wanting to get the original Frannies, just like the original Freddies, like that were 50 pieces or 250 pieces or 500 pieces or whatever like that. So all the
you're pointing out the Freddies and Frannies, like right now, if you look at Funimation Series 2, premiums are $40, but all the redeemables are less than a premium pack, which is minus the Grail. But even then, it's like $25 for Idle Franny, which this set had a massive burn. These are all going to be under 1,000-piece pops.
Yep.
So if I had like the time, I mean, I grabbed a couple of extras of each, but if someone out there has a couple hundreds to invest, I would totally grab those because those are going to be under 1,000 pieces each.
So it sounds like I like the game you're playing with this. Have you like mapped out the financials on your investment on each project and then how much you get back in the long run?
I do actually.
Oh man, I'd love to see that sometime.
I would love to, I could share it with you if you want. I don't really share it publicly, but I would totally. I have a couple friends I chat with, and but yeah, I keep track of every set since the start, and I know how much I've invested from every set, and just total all of them together.
All smart.
Yeah, I have to, or else I'll be like, I have to know if I'm wasting my money, But
no, that's good. I mean,
most of the time, I'll tell you this.
Go ahead.
Most of the time, my collection is paid for itself. So that's how it's gone for the most part.
That's so smart.
Yeah.
As long as you're lucky on grails, in general, like even when you definitely buy more packs than me, Harry. So you buy more packs than me, but I buy a decent amount of packs. And, I'll buy aftermarket packs and play as the weeks go on. And, even I remember you messaged me the one time about the Toy Story. You're like, you grabbed that for $40. I'm like, you got a deal. Because someone dropped one for like $10 less than anyone else. And I'm like, but it is all about like, if you hit the grails, it pays for everything else really quick. If you don't, you get hit. The royalty sets are good as long as you get your epics and things like that. And some sets I've been super lucky with, like Stranger Things. I could not hit a Murray for anything, or I couldn't hit the Grail for anything. I kept opening packs and packs and packs, and like I opened standard pack, but I got so many legendaries. I got probably 40 Ericas out of that. I got like I was hitting the higher like Karen legendaries and stuff like that. And I was getting also that royalty out of that, like crazy. And then also I'm like, and the other side of me too is like, now I have stuff I can use for Droppp Arcade as well too. Like now as 2 burning packs and things like that. But it does, we all have those days where it hurts opening a $40 pack, and then you find out you get uncommons, commons, rares, and don't get a single epic or something like that. But
I had a streak of 17 premiums at once that didn't have any redeemable.
I've been there.
Couldn't believe it. Then I hit 2 grails like back to back on the next 2 drops. So, it all balances, but it does hurt in the moment.
Yeah. Have you guys ever had a double grail pack? That's like the best feeling ever.
Never. No? I think that's amazing.
I've
had it a few times.
I think the luckiest pack, actually, the other day I was pretty lucky with a pack, like a standard pack. I think I had 2 epics, a legendary, and a grail or something. Like crazy packs like that every once in a while. I think Harry and I were trying to talk about our luckiest packs overall, and I think like a double grail, and I think I've had 3 or 4 redeemables. I think 4 redeemables is the most in a premium pack. Like ultras, when ultras were in play too. I think 4 redeemables plus epic or a couple epics, like that's like a pretty ultimate pack there when you pull something like that.
I haven't opened nearly as many as y'all. Like I may average 4 or 5 packs per drop, and my best was a grail, a legendary, and 2 epics. I mean, and I was still stoked.
That's good. Yeah. So awesome.
But double grail, sometimes it'll happen in my streams. People come in and be like, I got double grail. And I'm sitting there trying to keep a smile on my face. And I'm like, dang it.
And as you're clicking, you're like, common.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, I truly believe it and mean it when I say that every one of those to me still has a value. And now we're getting to see it play out in Droppp Arcade. So like back to PopFourceOne's spreadsheets, not only does he spends that money up front, he gets the pops. He can sell coins if he wants. He can sell pops. He gets the utility out of the NFTs that now we're going back into getting the Freddy and the monster suit. What's the value of that? Like if he maps it out, he's probably netting a pretty good 15-20% profit on every drop. while having a great time and building this awesome collection. You got the 101s. You hit a 101 every once in a while. That's huge. You said you have
I've
what,
only
like
pulled
19
one.
or something?
I've only pulled one. No,
Really?
the 19
No.
wasn't me. That was at King.dp.
Okay.
Yeah, King has.
I've
Only
only pulled
one?
one out of every pack I've opened.
I have never
Holy
pulled
cow.
one. I have not pulled
no,
a
me either.
101 yet.
Not one.
And
I owned a Beetlejuice silver one because someone I sold a pack to pulled it, and then they just traded me for more packs. I was like, let's do it. What was I gonna say though? I was gonna say something.
I was talking about the profit you probably make overall on all these when we segued.
Yeah. So for example, yesterday I went crazy on Toy Story packs. You could go see. I bought a bunch of standards premiums. I went on a ripping rampage. I was bored.
I think you bought one of mine.
Yeah, I probably did. But I bought a bunch, and I was like, I'm gonna rip till I pull a grail. I pulled a bunch of ultras, legendaries, and a grail, and then I'm like, that's how I like. So if I spend a lot more versus what I pulled, what I like to do is buy extra redeemables and kind of even out.
yeah,
That's how I play the game, because I've had that happen to me. Like Teen Titans Go Series 2, you mentioned how hard it is to pull a grail. I ripped a bunch to get a grail. And I'm probably negative on Teen Titans Go, which I think technically I'm not. I use my drop credits from TMNT Series 2 for that set. So
see, a lot of people use those for the April Fool's one, and that's the only reason it sold out, I think. That's the only
I think so.
I was like, how is that going for so low? Like, and it like those packs, I was buying them for crazy. I was buying for $16 for premium.
Yeah. Speaking of that set, I have 30 royalty sets because a royalty set, $25 royalty set. I'm not saying no to that, you know. And same reason as I mentioned earlier. I get the pop if it sells for $20. I have a bunch of free cards for arcade, so that's why I was like, I'm gonna grab multiple sets for April Fools.
We just need more.
The sandwich is $12.
We just need 25 more of you, and we can sell out all these drops.
All right, so I won 2 things from this Droppp Arcade mini games. I won a standard pack of Avatar, and I won a monster crate.
Oh, you guys
want to open them live? Yeah, let's do this. Let's open it live.
Those crates were creeping up in value for a while there.
They've been going up a lot.
So do I open the monster crate or do I keep it? That's the question.
There's one that everyone's looking for. Hot dog vendor, I think, right?
Oh, really?
I think that's the one that's everyone looking. And
but
then
someone's looking for different things. Certain things
another
that
one
haven't been out.
I can't remember the second one. Was it Pugwash or something?
I'm gonna open them because I got them for free. That's the great thing.
Do it.
I mean, let's open the Avatar pack. This could be the worst decision ever. It's a $20 pack right now, I think. But I got it for free.
Sending the luck your way.
If I pull,
let's do it.
Nothing,
let's get that grill. Come on.
If I pull nothing, I'd spent nothing. So let's see.
Avatar Roku. Let's go.
I know.
Does that make you want to crack some packs, Harry?
No, yesterday I had a lot. I ripped so many for Toy Story.
We start out with a common, but we end with a epic. All right.
All right. Cool.
Nice epic. Cora there. Not too bad for the back. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Cora.
That's a good one, too. I think she's the most
Spirit.
valuable legend. No, well, Aang is actually, but
Aang
still,
is, I think,
she's
the
a
most
good
valuable, but this one's up there.
80.
All right,
this one's
let's go. Another one. Let's go another
Great
one.
one to pull. All right. Let's see.
Come on, Grail. Be in there, too.
Common. About to.
One more.
He's undervalued right now. His redemption.
Yeah.
If you want to pick up our redemption, this thing looks awesome.
It does.
That's another one. I picked up a bunch for 18 each.
Dang.
Yeah.
And our last one is a rare.
Hey, that was still good.
So,
that was a great pack.
So worth
legendary.
it. I mean, you got a redemption and an epic, and it was a free pack. I mean, it was a free pack. I'm glad I waited because, you know, it's all about timing for opening these things. So
totally.
If you don't open them, definitely a cool one. So glad for that. I did buy a couple other packs.
It's hard to pull a grail. That set was a monster to pull a grail.
Which one? Avatar?
For Avatar Series 2, let me tell you right now how many packs I've ripped.
Oh boy.
Pop in stock. Okay.
Shout out to Poppin' Stock.
Poppin' Stock is incredible, and Climbing Moon. Both of those are just killers. Poppin' Stock. Let's see. I've ripped for Avatar Series 2. I ripped 215 standards and 130 premiums.
Dang.
And I think I only pulled 11 grails. So that gives you an idea of how hard it is.
See, that's how I felt about Stranger Things. Like,
but I did
Stranger
a lot
Things
of ang.
That much of a pain. This one I got really lucky with, actually. I've gotten pretty lucky with the packs, but you aren't doing too bad with the Rokus, though.
So. Yeah, I traded for a few, actually. Physical pops when they come in, I trade for, You're
not doing too bad with them. So.
No, I think he's going to do really well. The set overall should do well. Right now, my favorite set is Toy Story, which should be pretty obvious.
I think, this one, a lot of people are sleeping on. The Vaatu is like, what, $27? $27?
No, I think it's $24 right now. But
is it less
he
now?
was sitting at $18, $20 for a long time.
Yeah.
I think the biggest sleeper set right now is Dungeons and Dragons Series 2, 100%.
Oh, dang. The minimum on the 333 went up nearly 1,000 points.
Ooh.
Since we've been talking this last 15, 20 minutes.
What's it at? 86?
86.5.
Oh, yeah. I think it's going to hit 95 to 100.
Yeah.
All right.
The way it's moving.
Man, I wish I got my guest in on DPK. I really wanted that pack, but I couldn't figure out how to submit my guess.
So I haven't changed, but
I was eliminated.
So yeah.
This is gonna be really interesting. Keeping an eye on this.
Yeah, I think. But all right, so we got a question here. Let's see. For you, how much do you think people sell the Arcade Redemption coin for this go around? For the actual Arcade Redemption, the coin right away. I think we talked about it earlier. My guess was 500 to 600 at least starting out.
I think so too. I think that's gonna be the start. I hope the bottom won't be less than 350, or else that'll be with the accountability of how many points it is to get it. I hope people know what they have, what their value should be.
I don't think with the coins. I think one thing. With this, do we just get a coin, or are we getting a card to go with it as well?
I hope you get a card too.
I hope a card. I really want a card. But maybe not, because we're all getting those stickers. Obviously, if you participate, even if you're not in the top 333, you get that one participant one. But then there's that top 333 and then the top 3 ones, which
over 3 million burned now points.
That's insane.
This is wild.
We're thrilled. If
he's watching us, he's probably having a fun time watching all these burns.
I mean,
I'm sure you guys know Patrick from Droppp.
Oh yeah.
Have we
Aloha.
101 burned?
Dude, the 101s, almost 10 have been burned. Or
Bulldoggy in the house.
Oh, what's up, Bulldoggy?
Bulldoggy,
Australia.
What's up?
Let's
get that top 3 together.
He has a lunch time. Well, no, it'll be nice and like late in the day. We were talking about this on Discord. A couple people from like Australia and New Zealand have it perfect. It's going to be like 5 or 6 o'clock over there when it ends. It's like the perfect like mid time. You don't have to worry about staying up late or anything, getting up early, anything like that. Australia and New Zealand has it worked out for anyone that's trying to play into this round.
Yeah, if you're on the East Coast in the States, like Professor Josh, it's just not ideal at all.
It's just, I went on the Discord and just kind of put something about it. And I know they are trying to be like, well, that's how we do it, because of the process is very similar to our redemption window process and something like that. And I'm like, I'm just trying to I wasn't trying to be like, this is awful, this is terrible. I'm like, this is not great. Maybe you can think about it. Like, you don't do your, you don't drop packs for a reason at 3 a.m. in the morning Eastern. You don't do the snapshot at 3 a.m. like you do it in the middle of the day. So it'd be good to like think about that, because this is also a way for them to make money too. If more people that are on buying stuff to get them in the next place, like they run out of things, they got to go over and buy some series coins or whatever. I got to go buy 50 series coins, come back over, spend them on Droppp so I can move up in my place or whatever they're doing. So hopefully they kind of think about that in the future and think about like the timing of the drops. Works out for other people, and it's never fun for anyone. Like, I think also, you could say about when Funko does a 9 a.m. drop Eastern and it's 6 a.m. for Pacific time people.
Yeah.
It's not fun being 6 a.m. in the morning and trying to get a drop or getting something like that. Or if you live somewhere completely different, like any other time zone, I think it's hard, but just kind of a weird. I get it's they doing it. It's the method of their redemption window, but I think definitely, hopefully they like see feedback too as well. And like, it would be a lot more fun. I think a lot more people would be doing streams like this as things close out than if you had it during a time that made sense. Like if you had it during a time when more people could be up. I'm not going to be up watching streams at 3 a.m. Eastern. I got work the next day and things like that. Like I'll probably wake up, check how I'm doing. If I'm okay, if I'm within 100, I'll probably just go back to sleep. Like something like that 10 minutes before. Not I'll burn 50 series coins and then go back to sleep. That kind of thing.
We have exactly 5 hours left, and if you pay attention, it looks like we're going up like about 1,000 to 2,000 every hour.
Just jumped another 400 points in this last 5 minutes.
I think
right now 100,000 is at 127. So we might hit 100,000. We definitely have a high chance at that. Because if you look at everyone under the 100,000, it's so neck to neck. It's wild. But I saw some people that are they have no points left at all.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of people that are.
I wouldn't have done that. If I had a very small amount of inventory, I would have just waited for season 2 or 3. But hopefully they're able to buy some inventory from others to just.
I went in thinking I would like try to stick around the 200 mark for a while, and then they started doing mini contests, and that's when I just like I might as well burn some more to do the mini contest, and then I'm burning more to keep my place, if nothing else, that I don't have to do them all at the end as well too. So I was like, at least it helps me keep my place and gets me a chance to win. Hey, I got a legendary redeemable out of my burning proto pops there. That kind of thing. So like those kind of things, you have a chance at some of the different options there. But it's gonna be kind of crazy for the people. I think anyone that's like the 100,000 mark at this point at 3 a.m. is going to be kind of crazy. I think that 100,000 mark.
If we pass 95,000 at like the last few minutes, it's going to be really wild.
Yeah. I definitely would beef myself up if I'm like looking at it and seeing that there's a lot of room to still kind of go back and forth. But it's going to be really interesting. So how about we do this? What is 2 things you would want for next drop to happen next season? If you could have anything happen for next season starting in July, we already seen the dates potentially now. Starts July 1st, it looks like, goes through September 15th at this point. So anything you guys would like to, 2 things you guys would like to see?
Go ahead, Harry.
I feel like everything they've done is pretty solid already. I don't know what new they could bring, but I do enjoy the mini comps. I think they've been spreading it out really fairly. Some at random, some at like the top person getting rewarded. So I think that's really, for example, last arcade mini contest. Whoever burns a card, that amount of points, you get a chance at getting a proto. I burned the most. I burned 147,000 points.
Nothing.
And the winner burned like 40,000, which that's nice to see because everyone has a chance, and I think that's great. I feel like that's what they should keep doing. Maybe do some surprise. I feel like it would be fun if they do a surprise arcade mini next time. So let's say no time frame. They just say, hey, whoever burned, let's say 10,000 points this week, you have an entry at a pack or whatever it is. I think that'll be more fun because that's not pushing people to burn, but whoever has burned that amount and that time can get entered in that. I feel like that'd be cool. Something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Because obviously whenever they announce a mini arcade, everyone goes in like full action.
Yeah.
Which that's their goal. They want us to burn because less assets out there, value goes up, and if they get higher price sales, they also get a percentage. So it's it all makes sense when you look into it.
Yeah, I agree. I think the mini games it was so important to this season, and I feel like if they saw that, and I'm sure they did, could we see like from July 1st, like some sort of mini game every week or every other week? Because I think it just staggers and keeps consistently people coming back to to see what's going on with the game, to jump in and have some fun with it. And then my original thought when they were going to do all this was a very different, like in my head, I had it envisioned like what Topps was doing early on when they were in the NFT game. And they did these weekly blends where they'd say, hey, if you have these 5 cards, you can blend those and get something back. They called it crafting. I would love to see some like bounties or some of that activity to specific NFTs. Like this specific one is worth more points this week if you burn it. To really fire up that secondary market and get people in there and kind of fighting out. Because if you're holding, let's see if they did Discord for My Little Pony. I got 50 of those things. And if they all of a sudden said, hey, burning that one gets you 1,000 points, I'd be burning a bunch of them and I'd put some on the market. It could be a lot of fun to see what would happen with that.
Yeah, like the proto thing they did. Those proto cards were 5 cents.
Yeah.
And they shot up to like 30 cents. I was buying a bunch for 5 cents, but Pugwash destroyed me in that one.
And
I was going at it quick. And I probably could have had a good shot if I kept going, but I was like, you know what? This is getting too crazy. So we both just agreed to let him win. And fun fact, I actually traded him for the proto he got. So I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get the prototype. Yeah, I'm gonna get that
Nice.
proto. Fun days. He's gonna hand it over to me, so I can't wait.
Oh, that's awesome.
I told him, I'm like, dude, I really want that proto.
I think, those are like, yeah, that definitely, the games make it fun. And I think, hopefully they start them earlier this next time. I hope they kind of start them earlier. They do a good variety of things. We had proto, get a proto, do proto again. A lot of people have burned their protos. How is that going to play out? Like do Franny next time. Franny's only been introduced since Funame.
People were speculating that and bought a bunch of friends.
Yeah, it's coming. You're gonna have some like weird things like those kind of, like I like the number whatever of sets, because it took time to investigate like what number each one of the set is to go buy and look if it's on wax. I know I went on wax and bought some because they're like whatever. So I think fun, different things like that, and then just have some general entry ones like whatever you burn during this time, you get entered in to win. And I think that was very fair because the person that won the proto, like you said, burned, like they weren't even in the top 100, I think, of that. And I think that's, everyone has a chance. Everyone has a chance. You might, and the odds really, even with yours, I think what was your percentage of odds? Like 3%?
I think I was at like 5% almost.
Yeah, 4%, maybe 5%. But even
I
with
only went hard on it because I was like, I want to hold my number one spot, and
you want
might
to
as well
do it
burn.
anyway. You might as well.
The chance,
Yeah. And I think those kind of things are fun. I think if they play with some of those, definitely engage some people along the way. I really appreciate them shouting out our stream and sending it out tonight. I think that shows. I think they got more people involved. The last Funame drop with some packs and some pre-packs, and Sully, I know you did some giveaways. Harry, I know you did some giveaways and opened some packs and stuff like that from them. I think doing those kind of things with content creators will just help grow. I mean, This Marvel one is a big one, but it's also going to be a really hard one to sell out. That's a lot of packs.
I think it's gonna burn for sure, but I love that they brought back double grails. That's something I enjoy a lot because it brings in a lot of trading action. That's one thing I enjoy. I that's one of the things I really want them to do with Droppp. I want them to like set up some sort of
Trade mechanism,
or making an offer to someone even though it's not listed for sale. Like let's say, for example, right now I really want one of the Toy Story one of ones, which I had a chance to buy the silver for $450. I didn't do it. I should have. But for example, like I'd love if you could make an offer on something that's not for sale, or a trade offer, buy offer, whatever it is. Because I know on Wax you could do that on Atomic Hub.
Yeah.
So
unfortunately, it's a lot of people offering a penny for $100
I know.
NFTs, but at least the functionality is there, and some people would use it correctly.
Yeah, I think that would be nice though. Some sort of addition of doing that would be really cool on Droppp Market, because I'm sure some people don't even know how to list something for sale or trade something with anybody. Like for example, the Toy Store Gold 1 of 1, the wallet that pulled it is just, I feel like they're one of those fresh wallets that doesn't really do this much. I've looked into it. I've never seen that account, but
they don't even know what they have. Probably they open 2 packs and store that, and like, cool.
Yeah, and it's like the bronze is currently listed for 2,000, and that's not going to sell for 2,000.
No,
maybe one day. No, I think the floor price is like 400 to 500, 600 depending on the color and the license of it, obviously.
Sure.
But overall, I think that's one of the things Droppp Market could do to make their marketplace better.
Yeah,
but I love Droppp. It's ever since they came out, like with the whole marketplace, I haven't even used Atomic Hub anymore.
I think also
some deals there occasionally.
Yeah,
I like Skylar here confirmed there is no card associated with the arcade pop. So just to let everyone know, we have confirmation from Droppp. There is no card associated with it, which is sad. I would love to see a card with it. It would be really cool. So that would be something. But I know we all get a sticker from it, so it's something different. I guess you can wear on your badge instead of just being a card that just held out there or someone goes to sell or whatever. I think it'll be really interesting if each of the coins is random or by your number, where you're placed as well too. I think that would be something.
I think Patrick confirmed that on Discord today. If you're first or whatever, your token's not going to be number 1.
It's just going to be random.
Yeah, you could be number 333 and get a token number 1 of the redeemable.
That's interesting.
So it doesn't matter what place you're in.
Well, hey, gents, I hate to dive in and interrupt the conversation, but I promised to stream for a little while so I can hand off to Pugwash in about an hour. So I'm going to bail, but it was a real pleasure. Thank you, Josh. Harry, it was great to get to chat with you a bunch. I want to do it again soon. It was a lot of fun, man.
And definitely, we'll probably be ending up in a little bit here. We'll send people over your way on Twitch or YouTube, either one. You can check it out. So
thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Your way. Thank you, Sully.
All right, y'all have a great rest of the stream.
Good talking to you.
We'll see ya.
Good luck.
Thank you. You too.
Harry's got a few hours. He's got a few hours to sweat.
Yeah. We got this, Professor.
I think this will be really interesting just to see. I mean, I think this is going to be the back and forth all night, and it's just going to, like you said, go up a little bit, about 1,000 every. It'll probably go up 1,000 every half an hour soon.
Yeah,
I'm guessing, because at a certain point we're going to get it back and forth. Definitely some cool stuff. I hope so. Maybe we'll make this an annual ending of the season, and maybe Droppp will listen and not do it at 3 a.m. Eastern for me at the end.
Maybe make it. I would like the seasons to be shorter. That's one thing I forgot to mention. I think seasons are a little long. You know what though? I don't think so. As we go along, if they continue doing these seasons, Harry, like after 3 seasons, because you're not going to get that how many drops in between. I think at a certain point you want more. It's just going to become too low. I think it's good to have a variety of drops that add to it during the season. I like that because great example, Festival of Fun. I went
pretty hard on. Like I got a good amount of stuff from that, and I had fun opening the packs because I got them for a like under retail. When I get packs for under retail, I'm always happy to open them and crack them open because I didn't pay for them at that price at retail. So I'm always happy like cracking them open and doing that. But it's also then I can add those to my points. Like I think that's
arcade,
one
right,
thing.
right.
Like a lot of people will have those and have the fun. But I would like to hopefully in the future see those kind of things. Who knows? Like, will they stop after 3 seasons? Will they? It's beta technically, so
I don't think they're gonna stop because
will they continue on to something else?
They're getting joy out of seeing these burns, you know.
I think also it just keeps some different things happening on the marketplace in the background as too. Like how many of those proto cards would have just sat there for how long? Probably on there if they never did this and never did the proto burn a proto, get a chance at a proto. How long would it have taken for those protos to ever sell or go above 5 cents? You know?
Would they have ever sold?
Yeah, would they ever? They would just sat there. Do you go back? You know, those kind of things forever. So it'll be interesting. So there is no news on Funkoween 2 or Stranger Things. It's kind of like I think they're just waiting to get their new shipments in. Who knows how many were damaged? I think one thing I do like about Droppp is they don't send out partial orders to people. Like, say if they got all the Ericas in fine, but everything else was damaged, they didn't wait on like they want to send everything at the same time. One, it costs them less shipping wise probably down the road, but also like I would hate Harry gets all his in and I get nothing in because they're waiting for mine because they're damaged or something, you know. That's not fair. Then you're going to sell yours on the marketplace and be able to get whatever you want for them if I got nothing in. And, you know, those kind of things. If half the people didn't get theirs in. So I say they ship them out probably within a week altogether. You might just get yours quicker because you're in California and they're in California right there. I got mine a couple of days after. And they came in
right now. It's always sunny shipping.
Yeah.
So let me see if I even have updates on it. So right now it just shows label was created yesterday. So I don't even have tracking on there, but I mean, that was a Q3 set. So clearly some of these Q3 sets are coming in their shipments as well. So we might see more Q3 ship out soon as well before Funkoween and Stranger Things because of the damages, which I don't mind waiting as long as they arrive in good condition, you know. I don't mind waiting. Obviously, it's a long wait. It takes a lot of patience because it's a long wait. It really, but compared to the start when this all started with TMNT Series 1, we had to wait like 8-9 months for sets to arrive. So I'm used to it because I was in this project since it started. But I think we got spoiled because the last few sets all arrived really quick and early. I think the Rick and Morty is a great example. I believe they shipped it out like a week after Redemption ended. So
some of them, I think they were all bunched up at one time too. We got several like boom, 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 boom. Like once they started flowing, they flowed, and I think we got so used to getting all these in like really quick that it kind of spoiled us. But you know what? End of the day, they did things right when they notice like damage or things that are issues and don't send them out. I think it just makes sense, and I get it. And it takes a little while for things to happen in that, and it's hard for them to really tell you a timeline until they know they're in port, they're coming in like to them, cleared customs, you know, like all that takes time, all those efforts and stuff like that. So I totally get it. They have been though the most upfront about communication when that happens, when we're like, we thought we were good, but we got these in, and now like 20, even if it's 25% are damaged, they can't send those out to people then, you know. That's you just got to kind of
they can, but I'm glad they're not doing it. I'm glad
they could be like, well, we don't like Harry, so he's not getting his, but we'll send Professor Josh his, or whoever turned their redemptions in first will get theirs first, or you know, those kind of things could happen. I mean, then the other people could wait 6 months, and would that be like, people would be really angry then? Like, you think people are mad now that they have to wait and they don't know what's going on? If people had that issue where some people got theirs and other people didn't, then you're getting an angry mob going. That happens. So
right now we just hit 87,000.
Okay.
If you look at number 332, they have no points left. So that's a good example of what's about to happen. People have to start buying stuff up on the market to have some points available, or else they're not going to make it in.
I just lost a spot. I was 37. I went to 38 now.
You know what? I'm going to check my second account because earlier today I was 85. I'm curious where I'm at now. I'm 128, my second account. So
okay.
And that one has 100,000 points burned.
See,
so it's moving really quick.
I mean, I think it would be worth it. Like if I move stuff over a second account, if I knew it was going to be that 100,000 mark, then I'd probably be okay with it. If it's going to be 200,000, I wouldn't be okay with it. You know, like
you're doing a smart move because I feel like where you're playing, you want all 3 seasons, which I do too. But you should definitely, you're playing it smart with just the one spot, because I do think season 2 and 3 will be less points in the end for the top 333 based off what we're seeing here. But you definitely want to have as much inventory as possible nonetheless, because you just don't know what to expect. Mini arcade games and all that stuff. So it's good to have a good amount of inventory available.
It'll be
right now you have 559,000 still available. That's really good, because that leaves you about 200,000 per season.
And I think even with this next season, I mean, I went pretty hard on like April Fools, like I said, and things like that. So I'm probably pretty good. I think I'm beating you by 1 or 2 redemptions in April Fools right now. And those are mainly packs. Like, I every once in a while will buy one if I see it for under $2 or something. Like if I see an epic under $2, I'm gonna grab it and throw it in my thing.
As you should. Like I mentioned, that royalty is $25. A premium pack is $30. Why would you not buy a royalty for $25? We both rip a lot of packs. You know how hard it is to complete a royalty set. You're not going to complete a royalty set with a $30 pack. There's no chance.
I mean, there's times I get 9 of the same epic, and then I have 1 or 2 of the other epic, you know, like, and that kills you too. If you look at, like, I think one I'm at that with the Funame right now, and Funame I have a while out, so I'm not worried about Funame. You know, like when you have a while out, at a certain point, I just stop too. Like I'll stop and maybe I'll buy some packs, but I probably won't go after more royalties. Like with Toy Story, for example, like I'm good. I don't need to like move around like more royalties and things like that. But if we want to, I'll open another pack, because let's see if I have some luck with. Finally, I bought this yesterday with Teen Titans, so maybe that luck will come around that we just had with a nice standard pack.
What is it, premium or standard?
This is a premium. So
let's get it.
Premium. I think they're $28, so they're under retail. I have never pulled the Grail, and that would be like the most exciting thing for me to finally actually pull the Grail. I bought the Grail, but I bought it with selling something else. So if I could hold it, I definitely would be happy today. All right. Started out with a coin. No coin. So the other day, did you see I posted that I got a coin in the middle of a pack?
Did you really?
I've never gotten a coin in the middle of the pack before. I got a coin in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, that's weird. They're usually in the front or the end. Same with a one.
It was a premium pack. It was so weird. I was like, is this the end? I'm like, this can't be it. All right, we start off with a rare.
Let's get that Grail. Let's get it.
The Jinx, I feel like, has jinxed me all along. This set has been like my most unfun set.
No, it's a tough one.
Slade. I think also with the burns, it does make it tough. Like you don't realize that you have lost half of the redemptions almost.
Come on.
Yeah.
When that slow motion happens, I'm always like, it's coming. But no,
it's coming. It's coming. No. Look at this is when I think like I really hate this. Like when you see same card. And if I get a third one, I've done that before too. It's like, all right, we got an epic whole $3. Let's pack.
What is it? One or two more cards left?
Couple more.
Come on, final card.
All right, two more. Final card, and this pack has been a dud for me.
Damn it!
That's a hard pack. That's the thing. I'm like, man, look how many mammoths. How many mammoths we pulled? I pulled 1, 2, 3 of the same card. 4 of the same card. Oh no, that's uncommon one.
Oh, okay.
All right, and there 4 of the same card. Like, that shouldn't happen.
It happens, but
it shouldn't happen.
What is that? Dungeons and Dragons?
It is. So I bought these to open too for the back. I've really enjoyed this set. I think it's a really.
I love that set. Mimic has gone up 55 right now. I mean,
that's nice. It should have been up. It was low, I thought at first. So I bought 3 standard. I figured 3 standard. I always figured 3 standard equal a premium, and it was cheaper for 3 standard than buying a premium. So that's the way to go right now with these.
Mm-hmm.
So
now I hope recent drops. I hope they keep doing that.
They need to do some fun stuff like that. All right, common.
Come on.
The rare cube, the uncommon, and common. It's okay, because I always think out of 3 packs, you better get at least a redeemable. Like that's my happy. All right.
You have to get one.
Uncommon. Common.
Dang.
All right. My free pack has been holding out the best so far.
I know that was funny. Come on, Mimic. Or Grail.
Okay. I love this coin. That's
a good coin. It's translucent. Coins. It's really
cool. The translucent in the back and through it. It's so good looking. Common. Uncommon. Common. And not even an epic.
Dang.
Wow.
See, that's the thing with standards. You could get really lucky sometimes, but I just like ripping premiums because the whole 17 cards. It's just
that's why I figured you do 3 packs. Then, if nothing else, too, 3 packs. It's a weird if you pull on it though, you feel super lucky. Like you pull something on a standard, then you even feel more lucky. You pull it on
especially if you get a Grail
premium, you're like, okay, that's cool. I paid for the pack. But you pull on a standard, you're like, man, I got 3 times the pack, or pull the Grail on a standard, you're like, man, I did really well. So, but I guess we'll probably wrap it up here, because I know you probably want to keep an eye on what's going on and what's happening.
For sure.
And I know Sully's going to be streaming here if he hasn't already started over on.
I think he's joining Pug right now. I just got the notification on DPK, so I'll probably go watch them in right now.
So what I'll do is let's link it here. So everyone, if you haven't been on his Twitch before, you can also, he's on YouTube. The link should be in the description of this video. But I'm going to go ahead and let me go ahead and share his Twitch if you're on Twitch. If you're not on Twitch, I can share probably his YouTube here if you just give me a second. I think it's just, if I do it at Nerd Unite, I think it's in my description here, but I'll bookmark it for everyone. If you guys want to go over there and provide some, our next, there, and then after that, I think it's Pugwash is going. So we're going, back to back to back there. And then if you haven't given Harry a follow, please do that. Take a second here, go over there. I'm sure you're going to have some crazy pack openings for next week going on, right? Because, we got the Marvel there. I'm sure you're going in on that. How hard do you think you'll go in on that?
I'm not going to go too crazy. I'm not going to lie to you. But I'll probably rip a decent amount.
Okay.
I want to pull the whole set.
Yeah.
But I'm more of an MCU Marvel guy. I've never really read the comics, but the molds are pretty cool. Nice box for sure.
Yeah. Very cool. So go over there and give him a subscribe if you haven't as well too. And good luck to everyone that's trying for this last bit here. Trying to get in, see if you can get into that top 333, or just keep watching and see who does and have some fun with it. I think it'll be interesting here in the next half an hour is East Coast midnight. So that means 3 hours coming up. 3.5 hours. That's it. 3.5 hours.
It's finally coming to an end. It feels like it's been long.
It's not long. 3.5 hours, and then we reset all over. And July 1st, it sounds like, is the new season.
Yep.
So don't.
All those points are gone.
So
I wonder if there's gonna be like some sort of thing that shows you the amount of points you burn each season. I think that'd be fun to see, like on your account.
Yeah, it would be neat to have like some kind of record. Hopefully they keep a record of it, or
if
like
not, I mean,
season.
Yeah, if not, I mean, we could always keep our own personal. But I think that'd be really fun to show, like on stats. Like obviously it'll be expired points, but it would be cool to show like how many you've converted each season and your rank in each season, and all that would be fun to see in the future too.
All right. So right now we are at 87 and 100 points. 100 points. Only 100 and like what is that? Less than 100 points is determining 333 versus 334. So less than 100 here. As we keep going, it looks like that 89 is going quick up there. You're going to 90s already in the 295. So you're going to see these numbers climb pretty quick here. So enjoy that, everyone. Check that out. Hopefully,
good luck, guys. Good luck.
And then we'll see you next time. We appreciate everyone coming out, hanging out with us. And Harry, if you want to stay around, you can stay on the back of the stream here for a second, and we'll see everyone next time. But good luck, everyone.
Have a good one, everyone.
With you here because it'll be interesting.
Josh,